Hello, good evening. Again, welcome to you Vardaan platform. Sorry for technical interruptions, but probably I am going to start the session, and by the time Dr. Nishi joins, we will take a beautiful turnaround. So, today's topic is very interesting, that prenatal learning. That means the learning even before birth. What we usually mean by learning is education, what we need to learn the new things. And if we ask the people, when does the learning begin? Many people may say, yeah, learning may begin in the school as soon as the child enters the school. Many people may say, no, that is just a rote learning, but probably actually learning starts in the colleges or when you really jump into the field of life. But if we say that no, learning starts much before that. Learning starts in the golden period. It is little unbelievable, but that is true. So that is what we are going to discuss with you today in today's session, that prenatal learning, learning in the womb. Is it possible? Can you train your baby in the womb? And for that we have Dr. Nishi Gupta, who is with us, and I'm going to invite her, and she is going to join us very soon. So by the time she joins us, 1 minute. So what I was telling is, first of all, let us understand what is golden period. As doctors, because myself, Dr. Neetu, I am pediatrician, and we have Dr. Nishi, who is an obstetrician. In the medical language, there is a very important word called golden period. Golden period, we refer to that important period where all the interventions, if we do it correctly and timely, will make lot of difference to the patient's outcome. Suppose a patient comes in emergencies like in cardiac arrest or in stroke, in the emergency. During that first 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever happens to the patient, that is what is going to determine its outcome. That means the patient is going to survive, patient is going to have any kind of mortality or morbidity, or patient is going to absolutely become all right. It depends upon whatever things happen in that particular golden period. And similarly, the things which happen in the golden period of a child, of a human life, that is what is going to determine everything for your life. Even what you are today, what your job is, what your profession is, what your personality is, what your behavior is, it is probably the foundation has been already was laid during your golden period. And that is why today's session is very important for all the parents who are planning to conceive or who are already started the journey of pregnancy and parenting, that means they are pregnant, or who are very new parents, because their child is there in the golden period. The golden period means the foundation period. The foundation period means where the templates, where the stone of everything is being laid down for his or her future life. So let me just call Dr. Nishi if she is available. Let me see if she is available. Otherwise, I'm just going to call her. Yeah, she's come. Give me a minute. Yeah, she's going to come now. And we are going to start the session. Yes, Dr. Nishi, are you there? Yeah, she's joining. There is some delay in the connection, but it's okay. I'll just try again. Not a problem. Welcome, Dr. Nishi. Hello. Hello. Hello,
Yes,
Dr.
Dr.
Nishi.
Neetu. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Nishi. Welcome to the Vardaan platform. And as I was already introducing
Thank
our
you.
Vardaan to the listeners, as well as I was telling them about today's session, which is going to be very, very important for the parents who are going to be in the golden period. So, thank you so much for joining, Dr. Nishi. And now I'm going to start the session. So, as we know that Dr. Nishi, she is the obstetrician, a senior consultant obstetrician and gynecologist. She is a golden period educator and currently working in STMH Hospital, Jaipur. And she has a wide experience of around 30 years in delivering maybe more than few thousands deliveries, and so many labors have gone through her, and she has a lovely experience of giving the new life to so many couples and so many new babies. In addition to medical expertise, she is a golden period educator. And myself, I am working as pediatrician in Kim's Hospital for last 25 years in pediatric emergency and intensive care area. And fortunately, both of us are golden period educators, which has made our life a totally different. And that is why we are carrying this mission together. And we want the parents in golden period to make advantage of this golden opportunity which they are having. So let us start, Dr. Nishi. So first question
Yes,
I
yes.
will like to ask you is, what is golden period? We are saying Vardaan 1100 days. We are saying golden period education. But what do you mean by golden period?
So, yes, Neetuji, golden period, as its name signifies, is the most important period in the life of an individual. Why I'm saying in the life of an individual is when the individual, the human, passes through various phases in life. So this phase of life, which starts from 3 months of preconception, 9 months of pregnancy, and 2 years of infancy, is the most important period in the life of a human being, which goes to build the entire being. Why we call as human beings is that being. We are human, but we have to be human. So if we have to be human, we have to have all the qualities, the humanistic qualities. As we are growing in life, when this baby grows in life, what the baby is going to have as a belief system, as the attitude, as a personality, which is going to reflect when this human being is entering into adolescence and adulthood, everything that has gone into the subconscious of a baby is going to reflect at the time when the baby starts using his or her mind consciously during adolescence and adulthood. So the formation, the entire formation of this human as a being depends on this period of 3 months of preconception, 9 months of pregnancy, and 2 years of infancy. So it is called the golden period, because what is done during this golden period is going to be a part of this individual for the entire life. And if we talk in terms of the holistic development, so I would like you to enlighten us on the concept of holistic development, because you as a pediatrician, you know what the development of a child happens during the phase when you deal with children in the pediatric age group. So because you see the children very, very closely, how they behave, what is the intelligent quotient. So will you let us know that what is the holistic development of a child? Because this holistic development of the child is going to depend on what is given to this child during this golden period.
Sure, Dr. Nishi. Um, what we generally mean by education or learning, that depends upon the IQ. And we all measure a child's development by so-called intelligence quotient. But that is not true. That is just a part of it. So जब हम बोलते हैं कि holistic development, मतलब कि development has to be in all the sectors of baby's development. Baby has to develop in terms of physical growth. मतलब physical तो सब लोगों को मालूम है. From the time they conceive, सब लोगों को मालूम है कि आपको हॉस्पिटल जाना है, डॉक्टर्स के पास जाना है, आपको स्कैन कराना है, आपको डेली वेट चेक करना है कि आपका वेट ग्रो कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा. और इवन अल्ट्रासाउंड स्कैन्स पे जो डॉक्टर्स बताते हैं वो क्या बताते हैं कि आपका वेट ठीक है, बेबी का भी वेट ठीक है. एंड वी आर सो हैप्पी, वी आर सो हैप्पी. इवन द चाइल्ड व्हेन जब पीडियाट्रिशियन के पास आते हैं तो वो बोलते हैं कि इसका डेवलपमेंट ठीक है ना, मतलब वेट ठीक है कि नहीं है, या इसका जो जो डेवलपमेंट जो एज पर एज होना चाहिए उतना ठीक है कि नहीं है. लेकिन जो हमारे पास टूल्स हैं एज ए मेडिकल एक्सपर्ट्स टू असेस द प्रॉपर डेवलपमेंट, दैट इज वेरी वेरी लेस. जो हमारे टूल्स हैं वो बहुत सुपरफिशियल टूल्स हैं. तो अगर हम कहें कि अच्छा वेट ठीक है, इसका जनरली इसने बैठना शुरू कर दिया है या खड़ा होना शुरू कर दिया है, दैट मीन्स योर डेवलपमेंट इज ऑल राइट. इट इज नॉट, दैट इज नॉट इनफ. क्योंकि अगर हम देखें हॉलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट के एटलीस्ट 4 मेन सेक्टर्स होते हैं. 4 मेन सेक्टर्स में है, एक तो है कि इंटेलिजेंस क्वोशिएंट, कि उस बच्चे का आईक्यू क्या है. आईक्यू मतलब कि जनरल अवेयरनेस, जो हम लोगों को जनरली पता है कि किसी बच्चे की या किसी भी ह्यूमन बीइंग की इंटेलिजेंस कैसे मेजर करनी है, कि वो कोई भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकता है कि नहीं कर सकता, या कोई भी चीज मेमोराइज कर सकता है कि नहीं कर सकता, या उसको किसी भी प्रॉब्लम अगर है तो उसको कैसे सॉल्व करना है, कैसे हैंडल करना है, वो आता है या नहीं आता. तो दैट इज व्हाट इज आईक्यू. एंड कितने सारे टेस्ट हैं हमारे पास डेवलपमेंट असेसमेंट के, आईक्यू असेसमेंट के, वो सबको मालूम है कि दैट इज वन पार्ट. द सेकेंड पार्ट इज फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट. फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट में मतलब कि उसका जो ग्रोथ है, वेट है, हाइट है, हेड सर्कम्फरेंस है, वो सब ठीक से जनरल सेंटाइल्स में जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है. एंड दूसरा ये कि उसको कोई बीमारी नहीं है जो हमें दिख सकती है, और वो बीमारी नहीं है, तो कोई स्ट्रक्चरल मैल्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, कोई डिजीज नहीं है, तो इट्स ओके, फिजिकल क्वेश्चन इज डन. But two most ignored but the most important questions we often forget, even as medical experts as well as the, अगर हम रिलेटिव भी हैं, अगर हम फ्रेंड्स भी हैं, अगर हम पेरेंट्स भी हैं, तो भी हम लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि वो 2 इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अभी देखिए, एक है इमोशनल क्वोशिएंट और एक है स्पिरिचुअल क्वोशिएंट बार सोशल क्वोशिएंट. अगर हम इमोशनल क्वोशिएंट की बात करते हैं तो अगर आप अपनी लाइफ में देखोगे या हम अपनी लाइफ में देखते हैं, हमारी क्लास में कितने इंटेलिजेंट बच्चे थे, बहुत सारे लोग बहुत इंटेलिजेंट बच्चे थे, तो बट आर दे ऑल सक्सेसफुल एट द सेम स्केल? नहीं। और आज हम अपनी स्टेज पे देखते हैं कि जितने भी सक्सेसफुल लोग हैं, क्या वो सारे इंटेलिजेंट थे और क्या वो सारे एग्जाम पास कर रहे थे इन देयर पास्ट? नहीं। तो व्हाट आर द थिंग्स विच इज डिटरमाइनिंग सक्सेस एंड हैप्पीनेस? दैट इज अ वेरी बिग क्वेश्चन। तो मैंने एक जगह पे पढ़ा था कि अगर आपका EQ अच्छा है तो यू आर गोइंग टू डेफिनेटली बी सक्सेसफुल एंड हैप्पी, एंड दैट इज ट्रू. And that is where we are finding in our today's experience that most of the kids are really lacking in emotional quotient. अगर आप आजकल बच्चे देखोगे, 1 साल का, 1.5 साल का, 2 साल का, जो हमारी OPD में आते हैं, they are so good in operating on computers or mobiles. They are much better than their parents. हम लोग देखते नहीं है कि वो, उनको सब मालूम है कि कौन सा YouTube का बटन है, या कहाँ पे उनके फेवरेट गाने हैं, या कहाँ पे उनका फेवरेट कार्टून मिलेगा. लेकिन उनका आप बिहेवियर देखिए, how much they are able to understand their parents' emotions and react to it. How much they are able to deal with a simple problem. अगर उनको कोई चीज अपनी पसंद की नहीं मिल रही है, how do they react? ठीक है ना. अगर कोई चीज उनको बहुत ज्यादा मिल रही है, उसको कैसे रिएक्ट करते हैं? तो that is what is EQ. And the second and the fourth most important is SQ, the spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient मतलब हम लोग ना ज्यादातर वो कर लेते हैं कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी तो मतलब भगवान है, या फिर पूजा करनी है, या प्रेयर्स करनी है. स्पिरिचुअलिटी वो नहीं है. स्पिरिचुअलिटी एक्चुअली कनेक्टिंग टू योर हायर सेल्फ है, अपने असली अंदर वाले इंडिविजुअल को रिकॉग्नाइज करने वाली बात है. लेकिन दैट वी डू नॉट डू. Unless you have a very good spiritual quotient, you are not going to be successful, happy in your life. So that is what we mean by holistic development. Holistic development means development in all these sectors: physical quotient, intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, as well as spiritual quotient. So अब next question मैं आपको pause कर रही हूँ कि हम सब बात कर रहे हैं कि गोल्डन पीरियड एजुकेशन की, लेकिन अगर हम एज ए पेरेंट अपने बच्चे को देखते हैं, जो पेरेंट्स मतलब आपने बोला कि 3 months बिफोर कंसेप्शन से शुरू हो जाता है गोल्डन पीरियड, एंड वी कैन एक्चुअली एजुकेट, दैट इज व्हाट इज गोल्डन पीरियड एजुकेशन, राइट? एंड उसके बाद हम प्रेग्नेंट हो गए, तो बच्चा जो पैदा हो मतलब है जो अंदर, वो ऐसे ही मतलब 100 ग्राम 200 ग्राम, अगर हम मेडिकल लैंग्वेज में देखें तो मतलब उतना ही बड़ा होता है कि साइज ऑफ ए चेरी, साइज ऑफ ए वॉलनट, साइज ऑफ ए पीनट. तो उस बच्चे को हम कैसे पढ़ा सकते हैं? मतलब दैट इज वेरी अनबिलीवेबल, राइट? मतलब उसको हम कैसे करेंगे एजुकेट? अगर हम कहें कि भाई हम तुम्हें ये पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, हम तुम्हें वो पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, उसको समझ आएगा या नहीं आएगा, या उसको याद रहेगा कि नहीं रहेगा? एंड हाउ कैन वी एक्चुअली डू दैट? So will you tell us about that?
Yes, Nituji, why not? And actually, as a medical professional, पहले मैंने कभी ये सोचा भी नहीं था कि this is a possibility. हम जब अपने बच्चों को ग्रो करते हुए देखते थे इन दी वूम थ्रू सोनोग्राफी या थ्रू फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशन, तो बस ये लगता था कि ठीक है, फिजिकल बच्चा इतना ग्रो कर रहा है, उसकी सब चीजें ठीक आ रही हैं सोनोग्राफी में, तो वो काफी है. जैसे आपने कहा कि एक फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट पे हम लोग पहले ध्यान देते थे, लेकिन जब से गोल्डन पीरियड एजुकेशन का इतना नॉलेज मिला है अपने गुरु से, तब एक बहुत ही अमेजिंग लगता है कि बच्चे के अंदर कितनी कैपेसिटी है. जो बच्चा अभी तक वोम में भी नहीं आया, हम कहते हैं कि प्री कॉन्सेप्शन, जो 3 months ऑफ प्री कॉन्सेप्शन है, वहीं से ही आप एजुकेट करना शुरू कर सकते हो बच्चे को. तो ये बहुत अमेजिंग लगता है. पहले जब ये कॉन्सेप्ट हमें समझ में आने लगा था, हम पहले इससे मतलब हम इसको रूबरू हुए थे इन फैक्ट कि जैसे हमको फर्स्ट टाइम जब पता चला कि इज इट पॉसिबल, तो इट वाज लाइक सरप्राइज कि इवन दैट इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी. पर आप ये देखिए नीतू जी, अगर आप पुराने उसमें जाते हैं जो हमारे शास्त्रों में, हमारे उसमें लिखे हैं, वेद वेद में लिखे हैं, पुराणों में लिखे हैं, तो वहां पे इतनी बारीकी से ये नॉलेज छुपी हुई है कि वहाँ उस समय लोगों के पास, जो ऋषियों के पास कोई भी गैजेट्स नहीं होते थे, राइट, कि वो सोनोग्राफी नहीं होती थी, उनके पास कोई ऐसे तरीके स्टेथोस्कोप नहीं होता था, कुछ भी नहीं होता था कि वो अंदर से देख सके, लेकिन फिर भी वो समझते थे थ्रू रेजोनेंसेस कि ये क्या हो रहा है अंदर, एंड उसके बेसिस पे उन्होंने जो हमें ज्ञान दिया वो इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर हम उसमें देखते हैं तो जब पहले पेरेंट्स कंसीव करने के लिए सोचते थे तो वो अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करते थे फॉर कंसेप्शन। वो क्यों प्रिपेयर करते थे? क्योंकि जो आपकी मनस्थिति है, जो आपकी शारीरिक स्थिति है, जो आपका फिजिकल एंड जो एटीट्यूडल उस समय चल रहा है एट द टाइम व्हेन यू आर प्लानिंग टू कंसीव, क्योंकि जो बीज बन रहा है, जो स्पर्म एंड ओवम बन रहा है, वो उस एनवायरनमेंट से बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट होने वाला है जिस समय के पेरेंट्स कंसीव करने का प्लान कर रहे हैं। और जब तक कंसेप्शन होता है, जब तक पता चलता है कि प्रेग्नेंट हो गए हैं, तब तक ऑलरेडी 5 वीक्स निकल चुके होते हैं, क्योंकि पीरियड मिस हुआ, उसके 3-4 दिन बाद आपने टेस्ट करके देखा, वो पॉजिटिव आया, सो दैट इज एक्चुअली with the calculation is 5 weeks. That means 1 month and nearly 5, 6 or 7 days. So वो वाला जो पीरियड होता है वो इतना इम्पोर्टेंट होता है कि अगर आपने शुरू में ध्यान नहीं रखा बहुत सारी चीजों का, जैसे आपने मेरे से पूछा कि ये कैसे हो सकता है कि इतना छोटा सा बेबी है और उसको हम कैसे एजुकेट कर सकते हैं, परंतु अगर आप देखते हैं तो ये छोटा सा जो बीज है उसके अंदर कितनी कैपेसिटी है एंटायर ह्यूमन बीइंग बनने की। तो जब हम इतना फिजिकल ग्रोथ उससे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, जस्ट अ सिंगल सेल स्ट्रक्चर कैन ग्रो टू मेक द एंटायर ह्यूमन बीइंग, जिसके अंदर के डिफरेंट लेयर्स हैं, डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स हैं। तो ये जो मेमोरी है, ये जो कैपेसिटी है उसकी फिजिकल ग्रोथ की, उसी तरह से उसकी मेंटल एंड उसकी आईक्यू की उतनी ही कैपेसिटी है एब्जॉर्ब करने की। तो जैसे जैसे वो फिजिकली ग्रो कर रहा है एवरी डे, उसी तरह से वो मेंटली एजुकेट हो रहा है, वो मेंटल, इमोशनल एंड स्पिरिचुअल क्वेश्चन उसका डेवलप हो रहा है विद एवरी सेकेंड एंड एवरी पासिंग डे। और जितनी जल्दी हम उसको एजुकेट करना शुरू कर देते हैं इस गोल्डन पीरियड में, उतना ही अच्छा है, क्योंकि हर दिन बेबी कुछ ना कुछ एब्सॉर्ब कर रहा है, हर मोमेंट वो एब्सॉर्ब कर रहा है। तो ये, आई मीन, इट इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट। हम अभी तक सिर्फ जब पेरेंट्स हमारे पास आते हैं तो वो उसमें स्टकअप रहते हैं कि नहीं फिजिकल ग्रोथ कैसी हो रही है, जैसे आपने कहा कि पीपल आर ओनली बेसिकली focused on the medical aspects and the physical growth of the child. And it is like we at Vardaan, it is our endeavor to make them understand that physical growth is important, but equally important or even more important is the uh, mental growth, the educational part, and the spiritual and the intelligence part. And there is so much that can be done, which cannot be covered entirely in this maybe a half an hour session. But yes, there is an absolute proof to it, a scientific proof that the baby is learning every moment in the womb. Now, my question to you, Neetuji, is what is the baby learning? How is the baby learning? And is there a technique by which you can make the baby learn in the womb?
Surely, Dr. Nishi. But as you said that as an practicing obstetrician and pediatrician, when we were not knowing about this concept of golden period education, we were also like these parents who just want to know the physical growth. कि भाई अगर आपका बच्चे का वेट ठीक है, चल फिर रहा है, सही स्टेज पे बैठना शुरू कर दिया है, उठना शुरू कर दिया, तो इट्स ओके, यू गो। बट नहीं, वो दैट इज नॉट इनफ। उस बच्चे का हमें we have to look at the emotions, we have to learn to understand what he wants to communicate to you. And actually babies communicate to you if you are ready to listen to them, if you have enough time for them, if you have a quality time for them. It's not कि भाई बच्चे को दूध पिलाना है या खाना खिलाना है, उतना ही काफी है. आप खाना खिला तो रहे हो लेकिन आप साथ में अपने मोबाइल पे लगे हुए हो, या आप अपनी कोई टॉक कर रहे हो. That is not a quality time. Baby is looking at you every moment and he is grasping a lot of information, lots of information. And how that information is being transferred, it is at the level of energy. Because we have to understand that we have two components of ourselves. One is matter, that means the physical body which we are all seeing from outside. But the inside component is at the level of energy. Because अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं कि भाई जैसे I have a feeling of respect for you. Can you see it? Can you measure it?
No.
Can you feel it? Yes. That means if you cannot see or measure it, it is not there. Can you say like that? No. So it is like that. Because both of us, like mother and baby or parents and baby, or the doctors and the baby, whoever is in contact, we have our own energies. We have our own subconscious mind, which communicates to the other through a feeling, through an expressions, which is very difficult to measure by our gadgets. Our gadgets are stupid. I mean, in the sense that we really cannot measure it. But thanks to our rishis, who in spite of having no gadgets, they have their internal vision. उसी से उन्होंने इतना अंदाजा लगाया, इतना पढ़ा एक प्रोसेस को, और हमें एजुकेट करने की कोशिश की. तो जब हम शुरू में मॉडर्न साइंसेस पढ़ रहे थे, मॉडर्न साइंसेस आर बेसिकली बिलीविंग ओनली व्हाट दे कैन सी, हियर, टच, दैट मीन्स थ्रू 5 सेंसेस. तो उनके हिसाब से अगर कोई भी चीज ऐसी है जो इन 5 सेंसेस से डिटेक्ट नहीं हो रही है, that is not there. But that is not true. As I gave you a small example, can you see my feeling of love towards my baby or towards my patients? You cannot. You don't have any gadget to measure it. But do you feel it? Yes. How do you feel it? Maybe in my tone, maybe in my expressions, but something else also. And the moment I changes my energies, even though my verbal output is different, but you will be immediately able to sense, no, something has happened to her. Suppose some news comes to me and immediately I try to continue my conversation, but you will immediately judge that something is wrong. Why it happens? It happens through our energies. And same energy transfers are happening at the level of golden period between the parents and that spiritual energy, or the energy of that soul, which is going to become convert into a physical body. And that is how we can educate this beautiful soul. So now you tell.
Very well said, yeah.
Now you tell that yes, parents are ready. Parents understand that we can educate our baby, right? So now you tell, do you have any technique at Vardaan that how our parents can be helped by giving this golden period education to their future babies, or the babies who are in the womb just now? They are waiting for your golden period education.
So yes, Neetuji, we have a lot of offerings through Vardaan. We have designed various courses. There are which will help them understand. For example, if we see in our scriptures how the that story of Abhimanyu, everybody, all of us, most of us as Indians, we know the story of Abhimanyu, how when Subhadra was carrying Abhimanyu in her womb, and Arjuna, the father of Abhimanyu, was narrating the story to his wife Subhadra, how this story gets transmitted to the child, Abhimanyu, who is still in the womb, and only a part of the story is taken by the child, but the part of the story is not taken by the child because there are certain factors. Not that everything that the child, what is happening in the surrounding of the child is going to go to the child in the womb. So there are various techniques and various ways by which information and education can be transferred to the child. So we at Vardaan give them these packages, we give them information, we give them guidance as to how you can start educating your child. So we have certain online courses, we have certain packages by which we can help the parents. For example, if it is good if the parents they start understanding the basics of how it happens, but even if they take it as a course. For example, if I have written a medicine and the child and the parents they take it, or if my mother or if my patients they use that prescription and take the medicine with a lot of faith, it works for them. Similarly, there are certain packages, courses where we have a do it yourself DIY projects where they can take up the course and they can start doing it and it will work. And we also educate them, we also tell them that how and why this knowledge is being transferred to the child, and it creates a lot of difference in the life of the parents. And in doing this, not only the child is being benefited, but the parents are also evolving, because when they start understanding the basics, they also grow as individuals. So it is a complete package and it is very, very helpful for them.
In fact, we recommend everybody to have it because it is our dream, me and Dr. Nishi and Vardaan team's dream, that future India or even future world for that matter, it has to be golden period educated. The education in the golden period has to start from them, so that finally we have to get a society, a humanity of our dreams, where the love is there, peace is there, no war, no distrust, no bad things. Everything is good. So we are waiting for that humanity kingdom to reach. Right, Nishiji?
Very well said, Dr. Ritu. Very well said. And I think that is a dream for all of us at Vardaan. So we are looking forward to having a lot of parents undertaking the golden period education for their children. And they have to understand one thing which is very, very important. The child is picking up most of the things that are happening in the surroundings. So if you do not consciously educate your child, it is just like a garden, which if you are conscious about what's growing on the, because something has to grow on the soil. So if you are conscious and you let what you want to grow on the soil in your garden, that will grow. If you are not aware of it, something else will grow, whether it is a weed, whether it is a beneficial plant, whether it is a tree which gives you good fruits, something has to grow on the soil. So if you as parents take up consciously what needs to go into the child, you can create your dream child. But if you are not aware of this fact, it becomes very difficult for the child. And even you as a parent, when this child who is not actually educated well during the golden period starts behaving the way that you don't want the child to behave as an adolescent and as an adult. So please become very conscious of this fact that golden period education is a must for each and every child. It is a right for each and every child. As we say that education is the right, but we think that education actually begins at 2.5 years. It's not like that. That education begins even before the child has actually been a part of you in the womb, in the preconception, 3 months before the pregnancy has actually happened, the entire duration of pregnancy, and 2 to 2.5 years of infancy. So please be aware of this fact that it is very, very important, and give your child the best gift that you can give to your child during the golden period, and start educating your child. And I think that is all for this session. Neetuji, anything else you want to add?
It is the foundation. When any building is formed, you really concentrate on foundation. If the foundation is weak, building will fall someday. But if foundation is strong, nothing can happen to your child. So you have to concentrate on the foundation. So with that, I think we'll wind up the session. And good night to all of you. Good night, Dr. Nishi. Thank you.
Good night, Dr. Neetu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.